As a patriotic citizen of Nigeria, it is important for you and I to keep abreast with recent happenings in our country, Nigeria. I love reading newspapers and I love, giving a review of newspapers because it helps me to know more what is happening in Nigeria, the state of our nation. Our big news today from Al Jazeera newspaper this morning is Tinubu to German Chancellor, distraction over. And the writer says, pledges to overcome Nigeria's challenges. Another writer says, highlight economic potentials. And another writer says, schools to meet CSO, startup entrepreneurs, others in Lagos. And the story is on page 9 of Al Jazeera newspaper this morning. Good morning, my lovely people. Thank you so much for always clicking on my videos to watch. I am your baby girl, Blessing Akan, and this morning I bring to you Al Jazeera newspaper, being the 30th day of October 2023, and some of the headlines I am seeing here today is worth sharing with you as usual. We have another story here which says Forex market anticipates liquidity bailout as Naira appreciates. Honestly, we hope that our Naira will, in fact, you can imagine that as of 2 weeks ago, a friend of mine changed dollar at 1,150 naira, and I heard that it has increased. I don't know if it is going to decrease. In fact, I want our Naira to have value in the market, honestly, because it has a lot to do with our economic growth as a country. Again, we have another story here which says ECOWAS reiterates commitment to support SMEs for job creation. That story is on page 2 of Al Jazeera newspaper this morning. Again, we have another story here which says 2024 Hajj NACON chief tax clerics on pilgrims enlightenment. That story is on page 5 of Al Jazeera newspaper this morning. Again, we have another story here which says Gaza Palestinian ambassador condemns attack on UN Secretary General. So sad. That story is on page 7 of Al Jazeera newspaper this morning. Again, we have another story here which says leaders mourn the late Oyinoyi of Ibireland. That story is on page 17 of Al Jazeera newspaper this morning. Again, we have another story here which says federal government will ensure Nigerian resources benefit citizens, says Speaker. That story is on page 5 of Al Jazeera newspaper this morning. We hope so, because that is what we want as citizens of Nigeria. Again, we have another story here which says 6 Ebonyi PDP local government chairman, lawmaker, others resign. That story is on page 6 of Al Jazeera newspaper this morning. Politicians, the more you look, the less you see. Only God knows why they have resigned from their party. Again, we have another story here which says IPU Assembly, Akpabio, Kalu senators brief president. That story is on page 9 of Al Jazeera newspaper this morning. Again, we have another story here which says Oyo Muslim communities distances self from clerics arrested with human skulls. That story is on page 2 of Al Jazeera newspaper this morning. It is so sad. There are a lot of things happening in our country. Just imagine the recent trending news of a young boy who was caught. He has, in fact, cut the girlfriend into small pieces as if he's cutting cow meat. People have strong mind to do a lot of evil things. Like, I'll be able to wonder what is really going on. How can you intentionally hurt your fellow human being because of money? Imagine clerics are caught with human skulls. For what exactly? And these and many more things are happening, in fact, across the world. It is so sad. We should stop doing this. Whoever, those people that are involved in all these things, please stop. Please stop completely. So these are the headlines we have here this morning, and I felt it is very important to share with you. Please give this video a thumbs up.